of the thank you of the Harlem Renaissance. So, recording away, this was chosen. The very first piece was chosen by Ashley. Thank you very much. They chose rather well. So this is Passion of Verse. This whole performance is going to be the celebration of finding strength in your mental health. Passion of Verse. I hear the throb, distant growl built out of stone, summoned from rushing neurons, creating fountains of pen ink, foundations at the epicenter of their famous works. It thumps. It thumps. It pounds. It pounds, whispers under drum beats, pushing against my feet, cut across lost graves, consumed by waves, eviscerating rhetoric, challenging the system. Sin and shame. It thumps. It pounds. It pulses. It prays. The verse, the conversation, passions of playwrights, poetry of painters, promises of paragons, parables of philosophers, the verse, the communion of the grieving, the pulpit raising love lost of heartache, the prayer built into a concave between these two ribs and the edge of human awareness. And that is piece one. Because I have got my teleprompter. I can't see you guys at the minute, but I will be jumping back and forth to read. Glory of the Fall, which has been a favour of Natalie. So Natalie, I had to put it back in for you. Glory of the Fall, my mythological piece. I saw footsteps of fire ahead of the way. Why did I keep walking? Crack-heeled, failing blindly. I saw footsteps of fire, embers that roar. Did it keep me warm? Did it keep me warm? There is glory in the fall, unfolding Icarus wings, sinking from the rising sun, ignoring the wisdom of Helios. I saw footsteps of fire, a heath that was not mine to own. Did I think I was Prometheus, stealing secret knowledge from the gods? I saw footsteps of fire. Did I think I could outrun fate? Didn't she warn me of the flame, prophecies of endless shame? There is glory in the fall, unfolding Icarus wings, sinking from the rising sun, ignoring the wisdom of Helios. And now, through some poems, I am going to tell you a story about finding oneself. This particular set has been very much curated for Prickly Pear because I absolutely love the work that Ashley and Kate and Ashley have. It's really, I can't put, they have to be at the same time. You have to say the words together. Kate and Ashley have done together to make safe space for everybody. So this has been curated, and this is going to walk you through the journey of me becoming stronger in my mental health. It's still getting there. Part of the reason of keeping my little lid on here is because the insanity is still very strong in me. But this is about growing. So we start with Crumbs, where I was really at my lowest point. Have you ever barked at the moon, fingernails marred with the traces of your drifting sanity, shame-ridden in solitude? Have you checked your fingers, troubled your toes to ensure you're still existing, to be sure you could still be known? Have you ever climbed walls by pure neurology alone, clinging to the crevices while on your lonely floor? Have you balanced on pinpricks, pirouetted over volcanoes, answered diplomatic entreaties with a cyclone down your throat? If you have danced with the dreary, reshaped perception by twisting your nose, you have lived my eyes and ears and have my deepest empathy. Be safe now, fair wanderer. Follow the crumbs back home. Kind entreating arms are welcoming. You are never alone. You are never alone. As you start to build and become more confident and understand, you start digging into some of the deeper stuff and you start challenging some of the deeper stuff. This piece is based on Maya Angelou, and I think you'll get the reference very quickly. but also about starting to push back and say, I'm not going to carry some of this darkness that was created for me by others. I'm going to start flaming it out and causing it to go into the shadows. This is singe your fingers, don't cage phoenixes. I know why the cage bird sings, what perilous fingertips bent her feathers. I know why the cage. Let's start again. I know why the phoenix calls to the nightly winds, her flickering windspan drifting. Singe your fingers. Keep your hands to the sides. They don't want you outstretched. They live for the breeze between the dales. They live for complete independence. Sit back. Watch the glory. I know why the cage bird cries. What cawing at iron bars feels like against young talons. I know why the phoenix screams, how her final burst in exhaustion is often most brilliant and blinding. Singe your fingers. Keep your hands to the side. They don't peck for steel corn. They don't chase stale compliments. They live for the right to decide always. Sit back before you are consumed in ink. I know the caged bird, and when it was an egg full of dreams nestled in the twigs of hopelessness. I know the failing phoenix, when it sits in the roaming wilds, never leaving me completely. Singe your fingers as the bird leaves quickly. It is used to flight and floating. It is used to breaking down still barriers, used to making its own way home. Only ribbons of grey would remain in its stead. But as you get stronger, it doesn't always mean you have the good days. Sometimes you have the bad days. And I've actually checked this piece with our dear host to make sure it's okay. And I would like to say, anyone who is about to hear this piece, if you would find this difficult, this is your trigger warning. This is based on the real experience of a panic attack. I don't go into anything particularly explicit, but I do go into the feeling, and it is represented in the performance. So if you need to mute me for the moment, if you need to go and take care of yourself, please do. It's nothing too explicit, hopefully, but please take care of yourselves. That matters a lot to me. It matters a lot to our hosts. With that in mind, this is called I Don't Own the Storm. Madness, they say, is swimming the same known behaviour, trying not to drown. Then I empty my pockets of rainwater. Thunder melody. I can't carry that. I don't own the storm. Running hell-bent past trees and settlements, never settling in just one place, never able to outrun. Heavy pockets, full of rainwater, thunder memories. I can't carry that. I don't own the storm. If lightning never strikes twice in the same places, it's not really safest to live in those spaces forevermore. With bursting pockets, filled with rainwater, thunder warnings, I can't keep carrying that. I don't want to own the storm, because with broken pockets, spilling rainwater, it's going to keep flowing if I don't try something that's in the thunder moment says I try to breathe slowly and the world is getting louder and the world is getting lonely and I'm trying to breathe fast and then my brain is getting dizzy, rainwater drowning as my brain heartbeats keeps switching. Lights keep on drifting. My panic is shifting as I and the storm become one single entity. The million miles from acceptance, the roaring of tempests. If I don't breathe, this will be endless. I have to take steps against my furious elements. I don't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be elegant. I can survive so much. I can survive this deluge. All of this cause is part of me, but I am not the storm. I hope that was okay for everyone. As I said, it's a hefty piece, and I always feel very tired after I do it, but I hope it's important. So on my medical journey, I've had some incredible people help me. I feel really guilty about this piece every time, and it actually ended up being part of Team J. Burgess's gallery showing all about mental health. But at the time, I was being messed about a little bit, shall we say, by services. And I ended up at the now medical centre who's helped me out, and they're absolutely fantastic. They're really, really great. But the first time I was there, I couldn't help but notice that it felt a bit like a medical, like a kind of old style, MASH style hospital. And everything was kind of turtle coloured and tortoise coloured. There was a lot of green and a lot of kind of pale grey. So I ended up writing a piece about it, which if my doctors ever find out, they're going to kill me. But it's fine. And this is called Tortoise Hall. I'm sitting here in Tortoise Hall, a mismatched green hospital nightmare, mint green floors, dirty vanilla wall, cracked military green door. I'm sitting here in Tortoise Hall. My own shell has hardened as I wait far beyond my time. Was I a younger Testistine, and still very much alone, would I scuttle under a large stone? I'm sitting here in Tortoise Hall. Hard as my shell mask grew, it may not weather the further examinations that born ever could, brittle inside and outward. I'm sitting here in Tortoise Hall. Seconds have now slowed into minutes and hours, yet time will only show a complete lack of motion, clock hands folded into silence. I stand here in Tortoise Hall. Called forth for my measurements, I find a scientist to be kindly. Lifting out of the caging, I talk fast, slow, and truly. I feel able to show the diamonds buried in my back. I'm sitting here in Tortoise Hall to prepare for a zoological examination. I desire some form of species making so I can live safely in the shaping. I know what I am, but does the world? And hopefully I'm doing all right for time here. Because I'm going to go on to Midnight Family. So I indeed, for a very short amount of time, in a very funny way, but I haven't got time to go into that story, ended up starting to teach some teenagers in Luton who were doing very important work to help their local community and really break down knife violence and sorts of things. And so as extra support and extra kind of creative fun, they were introduced to my classes and I taught them how to write. And one of them one night was telling us about his writing. He just went, "I am a night writer." And I went, "That is a banger line. I'm taking that. Thank you very much." So based on him and that wonderful group that I worked with, this is Midnight Family. I'm a night writer, as stated by my student, explaining his philosophy, his words of consideration elevated in a rhyme scheme. Bad praxis for a teacher to note he is joining a dynasty of the quiet ones by candlelight, tormented at the end of daytime by the need to record the world they see. No romance without mythology, a different kind of family. Already his eyes are attuned to the parallels in speech, ears prepared for the juxtaposition in thought, the circular nature of memory. Night calls this breed to meditate with inky hands and find melody in traffic jams, syncopation in coffee machines. Rare is the night when the mind proves it can be silent, often tormented by ideas before slumber brings its peace. I feel, and officially this is my last piece, we'll see how we go for time, because if we need to bring it close, we can. If we need to continue, I've got a few others.
You've got time.
You got time. Okay, well, this is usually the final variation, and then we'll see how we go. When you start accepting all that is you, pull it all together and explode it onto pages, paint, get a camera, whatever it is that makes you express yourself. It could be in writing lots of wonderful mathematical equations, and you just decide to collect it all. You start noticing why you fit. And Free Roaming Adult Woman, which I'm about to do, is all about that, but also as a bit of a tease to some very silly gentlemen who've messaged me before and gone, "You can't be solo, blah, 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 blah." Watch me. So this is Free Roaming Adult Woman, also a celebration of Mayor Angelou. Blood test booking, aubergine cooking, meeting leading, potato peeling, off the leash, hands to the ceiling. I am a free roaming adult woman. Mortgage managing, calendar haggling, boss creating, boss commanding, lover philia, curly girl de rigor. I am a free roaming adult woman. Flouncy ping gingham, one bedroom kingdom, over talk the walk, walk talk the trading, up for the moonlight, bored of the hay babies. I am a free roaming adult woman. Grateful for the side looks, growing to understand the sadness, paying back the lessons, becoming hard in the madness. Future completely open door. Jane Doe to the chances. I am a free roaming adult woman. Try and rap because it's tough, writing new diamonds in the rough, falling in love with the gaps between the laser guys' stanzas, liking my femme, my funk, masculinity as it hammers. I am a free roaming adult woman. I'm free forming. Struggle to get up in the morning. Chat your ear off if you let me in, jokes about Maya Angelou lines, if you get me. Free flowing, free spirited, 5G roaming, grown up woman. I love doing my piece. As we are good for time, then I'm going to do one that Charlotte absolutely adored. It's the first time I've performed it, so I hope I'm going to trip over myself. But for you, Charlotte, the very picture of a modern single millennial. Rattle of excited feet will exacerbate a desperate neighbour. Wits battle across cardboard walls, overcharged for the excessive promise of a roof over one's head, with no need of a landowner. Damned are our ceilings and floors, shared piping and separate showers. We don't know each other's names. So this victory will be a loss, for they play music in return that I'm kind of into. Switching same price laptops for the want of a nail. The paper trails of digital code, from data sheets to epiphanies on paper wads, performances, calendars, and half-written anthologies. Still framed office bed, sharing all the duties as role switches, code alterations. One-time second in command for an emerging organisation, then cheerleader, then spare mother, administrator on top of a continuity affairs while still in my PJs. In the frozen air, snow guesses have chickened out to heavy water. Ennui feels like a new hairstyle. Everything is possible. Everything's expensive. Everything's tomorrow. Would it be better seated, surrounded by familiar management, sticker collections, and report cards? Pausing my dear therapist as she watches me in quiet awe, poking my dreams with a steel saber, asking me to give tomorrow a more defined date and timeline. Nebulous has been in existence from 1987 to 2023. Imagination's a promise that never needs filling, always patchy to allow for distraction. A terrible fate, the worst I could have envisioned. I'm committed now, and I have to commit to life ownership. May it wrinkle my forehead. Still flexibility from my hips. It was always there to take, existing fully the only risk. And I will indeed finish on one last truth, which is, like many people, and my great sensei is improving me on doing this, I tend to write a piece and then leave it. My old mode of writing was to put in some decent music, play the same song 15,000 times because, hey, neurodivergence, and then write. So in celebration of how I used to do things and how I'm changing, this is trance. 6 minutes. The full 360 seconds to find the epicenter, some form of meaning. 6 minutes. I feel my mind floating, that wanders as words become pictures and pictures become feelings. 6 minutes. Half-lidded eyes, headphones slightly tinny, darkening my room, keeping water with me. 6 minutes. There. Found between beat 1 and beat 50. The guitar sighs before the harmony. Pause. Tapping fingers motion out a symphony, recapturing a soloist's tears. Why does that remind me of home? 6 minutes. Count down with me now as the seconds drop away and the timer moves slowly. Digital sands falling. 6 minutes. 5 breaths slowly. 4 shifts of the body. 3 presses of the volume. 2 blinks suddenly. 1 piece finished completely. Awaken. Edit. Done. And that is all she wrote.
Oh my! To applaud everybody.
We don't want that to stop, do we? But honestly, no. Jen, that was incredible. Not just the words, the performance, the embodiment, I think you would have had much more comment in the chat, but you mesmerized so many people. Now's the time to come off mute and show your appreciation for Genevieve Ray.
Bravo, bravo. That was phenomenal. Turn the recording off and take a spotlight off of everyone.